back to my channel. It's me Alexa. Today we're gonna get into another story time. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, y'all. So today I'm gonna be telling y'all a story time about my roommate from hell. Y'all, like, I've been wanting to tell a story time for a long time. I'm gonna call this girl Snake. So I think I called her Snake in my other story time about her. It's called She Snitched, or I got fired for stealing time and she told, or something like that. I don't know, it's something like that. But yeah, so we're gonna keep her name Snake. And yeah, so how I met Snake, I don't think I really told y'all how I met Snake in my last story time. I met Snake when I first started working at Walmart, and I met her along with another girl who she got story times too, y'all. Like, I met them both at Walmart, just know that. I'm not gonna give her name the other girl name right now, but just know, like, yeah. Okay, so how I met Snake is I met her at Walmart right along with the other girl, and we became close like instantly. Like, me and the other girl, I'm gonna go ahead and get the other girl name because she definitely got more story times. So I'm gonna name her Trifling. Okay, so I met Snake and Trifling when I was working at Walmart, and literally, like, we became the best friends. I became friends with Snake before I became friends with Trifling. So me and Snake was a little bit more closer. Like, it's so much stuff leading up to this, to like, y'all, I don't even know why I moved in with this girl. But anyway, well, I do know, but let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so one day, we're gonna get into that too, but my son's dad had shot my mom's house, and I was staying with her at the time. Me and my son was. I had ended up leaving my child's father like a while ago, and honestly, I'm the type of person, I don't like confrontation, and when me and him, you know, when me and him wasn't on good terms, it would be all bad. Like, he'll be doing the most outrageous things to me, like, just wouldn't make sense, but he'll want me to stay with him. So I just got fed up one day, and I was like, yeah, I'm over it. I had met somebody new, yada, 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 yada. So my mom wanted me out after, you know, my child's father had shot her house, which was very much understandable, and I was already ready to go anyway. This was 2020. I can't really remember the month, but it was 2020. Probably when summer was ending or something. Like, I started staying at my boyfriend's house, which Snake had put me on to. I started staying in his house for like a week, and then I stayed in the hotel for a day, and I stayed at his house for a week. And after that, y'all, I had got an apartment. And leading up into the apartment, y'all, I never understood why Snake would allow me to, you know, stay, even though it was fine, but Snake allowed me to stay at my boyfriend's house. She never offered to, you know, for me to stay the week with her or anything like that, which she's not obligated to do that. But, like, honestly, if it was me, I would have let my friend, you know, stay with me, but she didn't. But then again, she stayed with her mom, so I don't know. So me trying to hurry up and, you know, find somewhere to move, I'm telling her, like, you know, I wouldn't even think about moving in with her. I never even asked her to move in, but her mom kept on, like, putting the idea in our heads to, like, why don't you move in? But to think about it, like, to kind of think about it, I feel like her mom was trying to hurry and push her out the house, because her mom was already talking about they needed to leave or by this time because the lease was gonna be up and stuff like that. So I feel like her mom really was just trying to push her daughter on me, basically. So I'm like, okay, I really wasn't thinking about it, but, like, we could for sure move in together. I was like, do you have any money or anything like that? And she was like, no. So I'm like, okay, since you don't have no money right now, you can move in, and then when the next month's rent come, then you can help me out. So y'all, I'm running around trying to, remember, this is last minute, so I'm running around trying to, you know, scramble up my last of the money so I can hurry up and move to the apartment. So I ended up getting I had, like, the rest. I probably was, like, needing like $600 more. So I had ended up borrowing that from my grandparents, and then I had got the rest of my borrowing some money from my grandparents, and then I had got the rest of the money from my boyfriend, cause we was really kind of new. Like, I really didn't feel comfortable asking him for no money, and we had just started like getting close. Like, we kind of moved fast, and I just didn't want to ask him for no money. But I think his mom was telling him like to give me the rest of the money, and he ended up giving me the money. So, boom, we got all the money. Now it's time to move in. I'm telling her, like, girl, we got a spot and this and that. Like, when you coming to move in? She was like, oh, my stepdaddy gotta move my stuff, and then I'll be there in a couple of days. So I'm like, that's fine, because I had my boyfriend coming to, stay the night with me, because we was kind of in the hood a little bit, just kind of a little bit. So I had my boyfriend come to stay with me, for the night. So I ended up moving in my stuff and all that, going back and forth, because did I get you all? I didn't get you all. So yeah, I ended up moving my stuff back and forth. My boyfriend was helping me move. And the first night in the house went great. It was just me and him, because my son was gone while I was moving with his grandparents. So yeah, I ended up waking up the next day, and I'm like, girl, where you at? Like, it's time to move in. She was like, oh, my stepdad hadn't came with my stuff yet, but I'm finna go build on the way over there. So I'm like, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. So she come and she pull up with her brother and his homeboy, which I'm not gonna get him a name. Like, they really threw out the story time, but I'm really not gonna get him a name. It's gonna be her brother and her brother's friend. So they end up pulling up, and all they did was come to smoke. They couldn't smoke in their mom's house, so they would. I guess she was coming to smoke at her house, because she couldn't smoke in her mom's house, and they were just smoking in the kitchen. So I'm like, okay. Mind y'all, this gonna be an all the time thing. Like, this is literally about to be an all the time thing. They probably want to come and see their sister moving, and like where she moving at and staying at. So I think like the next day, her daddy or stepdaddy had came and bought her things to the apartment, and I was so hyped. I'm like, yay! Like, I'm moving in with my, I can't say that word. I'm moving in with my bestie or whatnot, and it's about to be lit. So he moving in her stuff and stuff like that. Her mom was giving us like old pens that she didn't use and stuff. It was very appreciated, and y'all remember that her mom gave us some pots and pans. Remember that. After that, it's her first night in the house. She didn't really have anything. Like, her room was totally empty, and I'm lying about the U-Haul. I think I did get a U-Haul, and my mom ended up getting a U-Haul and bringing my stuff, because I definitely had like some stuff. I had dressers and beds and stuff, so I don't know why I said that. But she really didn't have anything. Like, she had like this little twin size bed, and like this little, I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but it's not a dresser. It's like a little container thing you put your clothes in, but they pull out like dressers, but it's not a dresser. I really don't know what it's called. But she had that, and I don't think she had a TV yet. So yeah, my boyfriend, he is very loud, but like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like, he's loud. He's just loud. Like, when he's just loud. But I feel like this morning he was not being loud, because man, he was whispering and laughing. And I feel like the only reason how she knew, I feel like the only reason she heard us, because this girl didn't have nothing in her room. Like, literally, it's echoing in her room because it was so empty, and it was right next door. So she was like, he was probably there for like 3-4 days. So she was like, so do you live here? I'm like, no, but if this is my boyfriend, and if I want him staying with me, it's time for him to stay with me. So she was like, oh, and walked off. So I'm like, okay. Mind y'all, this girl always had an attitude. Like, she always had a problem with something. It was always something, but I always overlooked it, because like, beyond that, like, she was fun. Like, she was a fun girl beyond that. So I always overlooked the attitude. So me and her had ended up going to look for jobs together, because I didn't have a job. So I didn't have no job, but I still had some money coming in. If you know, you know. This was around COVID. So, but I was like, I'm still gonna go and try to get a job because, you know, ain't nothing wrong with a little stable income. Like, you know, for a fact that money is coming. I mean, I knew that money was coming for a fact too, but you know what I mean. So I had ended up going to Amazon with her, and I think I ended up failing the drug test. I don't know how I failed the drug test, but I probably failed it like a while back, and I know what's happening with the system, but they told me that they didn't have me in the system and something else like that. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. She go in there, I don't think she got a job either, so it led her to go look for another job, and she ended up getting it. So boom, like we celebrating her getting her job and stuff. So because regardless if I had a job or not, the rent was going to get paid. It was going to get paid regardless if I had a job or not. I just wanted, you know, stable income. So we celebrate her having a job because, like, now, girl, you can help me pay these bills. Hello. So we ended up celebrating, and I think her brother and his friend came over. One morning, I think she ended up going to work, and this girl cut the Wi-Fi off. And I'm just like, girl, I said to her, I was like, hey, girl, the Wi-Fi not working. Can you tell me, like, can you see what's wrong with it? She said, oh, I cut it off. I'm like, okay, why did you cut the Wi-Fi off? She was like, oh, well, because y'all are using up all the something. Y'all using up all this. She said something like that, and I'm like, okay, so you only use the Wi-Fi stay on all the time when you're here. But since you're going now, you're going to be cutting out the Wi-Fi when you're going. I was like, okay, so how about you take the Wi-Fi off your name and I put the Wi-Fi in my name, and I'll make sure that we don't have to cut off the Wi-Fi using up all the data or whatever the hell you was saying that you was using. So, because my boyfriend was like, so why don't I just pay for, updated Wi-Fi? So I tell her that, and she was like, why we gotta do that? Why we gotta do that? Like, why we can't just keep it in my name? She got an attitude. So I'm like, girl, why would we keep the Wi-Fi in your name if we can't even use the Wi-Fi while you're going? You're gonna cut the Wi-Fi off every time you go to work? I think not. So no. We bump heads about that. I'm like, okay, whatever. This girl's starting to get on my fucking nerves. My freaking nerves. I'm starting to tell my boyfriend, like, I don't know how to do this. Like, it's a problem every single day. Every single day, this girl got attitude. So, y'all, this is the same exact day. This girl was it's like she was trying to purposely get up under my damn skin. When I'm on my monthly, y'all, I had the worst cramps ever. Like, it was hard for me to get out of bed. I didn't want to talk. I don't want to eat. Like, I don't want to move. I want to stay in the same exact spot. So, y'all, I'm in the bed all day, and I go down to the kitchen to get something to eat, and she was getting off work, and she was like, I've been going all day, and you still in the same? Who the freak mom are you? You don't know what's going on. Why would you feel like you could just come in here talking mess as if you were somebody's mother? You're not. So I laughed. I did like a little chuckle, and then I walked up the steps. So I text my boyfriend, like, oh, I'm about to smack a bitch. And he like, what's going on? And I'm like, this girl really got nerve to fix her mouth and say something about dishes in the sink. But mind y'all, I did all the cooking and cleaning for real. Like, the only thing that this girl really cleaned up was the bathroom. I cleaned up everything. Like, literally everything. So I'm like, okay, this trying to get on my nerves. I'm not going to get on my nerves. So I went back in the bed and I chilled. And then, yeah, I went back in the bed and I was chilling. So fast forward, I was gonna get ready to cook some pot roast for the house. And the house is me, Snake, my son, and my boyfriend. So I cooked pot roast, and can y'all believe that before I even cooked the food, this girl was sitting up here with a whole attitude because I didn't want to cook my pot roast how her mommy cooked her pot roast. So I'm like, girl, it's not even that deep. she was like, she put it in the pan first and then she do it like this. And I'm like, well, my mom don't do it like that. And I'm cooking a pot roast. If you wanted to cook it how your mommy cooked it, then you would have made pot roast. But no, I'm making a pot roast, not you. So yeah, she stormed off again like she always do. I'm like, okay, I don't care, girl. You always got attitude about something. So y'all, if y'all see these little floaties, it's like little lint flying everywhere. I don't know. After that, we get back cool, kinda. You know, best friends fights. Even though this really like the only best friend. Well, around this time, this was the only best friend I ever got into it with. So I'm like, okay. She was sweet and then she was sour. Like, she was like a Sour Patch Kid. You would really have to get used to her personality. So after this, what happened? So the next day, it was probably a couple days later, I'm leaving from upstairs to go do something. I forgot what I was doing, but I was going to the kitchen per usual. So I was walking to the kitchen to give you something to drink. And y'all, do y'all know when I walk, because we had a townhouse, so I'm walking down the steps. Do y'all know I see at least like 7 to 8 ninjas in my living room, like next to my kitchen? It's just one her. Mind y'all, this is when COVID was going. So do y'all understand how pissed I was that this girl had like 8 dudes in my freaking house? And my son lived here. So it's just like, why would you even risk that? Having all these freaking people at our house like this. Don't even know where none of these ninjas been. They just all here smoking. So I got attitude. It must have been all, I know it's all over my face because they was all like, hey Mimi. I'm like, hey. And then I walk past all of them. I barely can get into my kitchen. So I go in there and I take I forgot what I was tossing, chips or something, I don't know. I look at the chips. Why the hell? Y'all, why these shits damn near gone? She got all these dudes up in here eating up all our snacks. So I'm like, okay, noted. I end up walking back up the steps, like, okay, whatever. My boyfriend come over. We, smoking stuff and we talking. I guess after all the dudes had left, she went to come up the steps now and spoke with my boyfriend. Cause one thing about him, he gets big. He gets up there. He be on cloud 9. And they used to be, no offense, but smoking them little skimp little gave like cigarette. It was really giving, I don't even know if I can say that. It really gave like a cig. So they would always be trying to come and smoke with my boyfriend. So I didn't say nothing about all them dudes being in the house. Majority of those dudes was her brother's friends. And I could understand, girl, why the hell is you letting your little brother bring all his friends over here to smoke in your house? It just gave that she was doing stuff that she didn't do at her mom's spot. Like, she was doing so much. Because I'm just like, y'all, it's just so much stuff. Like, oh my God. We had ended up going to sleep a little early. So I had got up that morning to check my phone. And it was like, girl, guess who I'm with? So I'm like, girl, who you with? Because it was like 3, 4 in the morning. So she was like, I'm with so-and-so from the Whoop the Whoop. And I don't want to say the studio name, but it was like this real known boy who be at this studio that my boyfriend be at all the time when he recording at. So I'm like, oh girl, for real? Like, because I think that he was trying to flirt with her at this little sipping paint that we was at. And I think she was already saying that she had liked him or something like that. So I'm like, oh, for real, girl? She was like, yeah, he was asking for your boyfriend, but I told him he was in the room asleep. Now, what if, let's just say, what if that my man Ops? Why would you tell him that he in the room sleeping next door? Like, you don't do that. You don't do that. Because honestly, I think they had like a little type of tension going on or something like that. Or they kept messing with the same girl. I don't know, they kept doing something like that. So I'm just like, well, I'm just doing that. But okay, whatever. So my boyfriend was a little irritated about that because he like, why is she telling people my whereabouts? Nobody know I even be over here. Like, nobody know, like, needs to know, you know, where I be at. So I'm like, yeah, like, true. Like, the exact whereabouts, not where he be at, because everybody know he be with me. But you know what I mean. And a couple days later, this girl had another dude in the house, which I started getting irritated with that because, y'all, every time I turned around, it was a new boy in my house. And don't get me wrong, I'm not nobody's mama. I don't care what you do. But, girl, like, at least do that when everybody go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And not even that. Girl, go to their house. Go to their house, though, because I just, like, she didn't even have, like, a few dudes. Like, y'all, she would have hella dudes coming in the house. It would be different men. I don't even know these people's name. At this point, they just walk in the house. I low-key kind of had beef with my son's father. So, I'm like, girl, all these people, and we all went to the same school. Like, some people was going to the same school. So, I'm like, girl, you got all these people coming from our school into our house. Like, I'm the type of person, I don't really like everybody knowing where I stay at. So what are you doing? But I really want to say that to her because I don't want to be the type of person where I'm trying to seem like I'm trying to tell somebody what to do. Like her. I'm trying to be somebody's mother. Because I only got one kid. And I got two. But at the time, I only had one kid. So I wasn't trying to be her mama. So I didn't say nothing. So this is somebody, y'all, my job, this is somebody else's boyfriend that she got up in this house. And they is in there doing the dude. And she got some, in my job, I know the girl. I'm like, this is so messy. Like, this whole situation is just terrible. After that, I was like, girl, this girl just don't stop. She just don't stop. Like, she was texting me and telling me, you know, that my boyfriend be too loud still. Or she was like, do he live here? Or something like that she used to say. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting fed up with you always talking about my boyfriend. But meanwhile, you be having 10 different dudes in here. I be knowing these people. Like, y'all being here hella loud, blowing down the house. So I got tired of her. So I'm like, okay, honestly, you can really go. You always have an attitude. Like, this is text message. I was like, you always got an attitude. It's always a problem. You never just seem happy. And you always read about me and my boyfriend. But I don't know nothing about you having 10 different dudes in here and have a relation with all these dudes up in here. While I have a son that's watching you bring all these people in and out of here. So I think she had ended up packing her stuff. Or she had ended up leaving, like her stepdad or somebody had came to get her, or somebody, and she left without her stuff. I guess she had texted my boyfriend because I really had met him through her. She had texted him and she was like, tell Mimi I'm coming to get my shit later on. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm ready for you to come get your stuff. I'm sorry to you. She had pulled back up without her stepdaddy, and she pulled back up with her brother and his friend. And this one's how to stand them. So she pulled back up with them, and she came in my room, and she was like, can we talk? And I'm like, there's really nothing to talk about. I really don't want to talk. Are you going to get your stuff so you can go? And she said, like, no, I'm trying to talk. Like, can you do this for a second? And I'm like, all right, like, talk. So she started telling me once again about my boyfriend. And I'm like, girl, why keep worrying about him? Like, honestly, y'all, my boyfriend loud, but he was not that loud. And but if you know you're not supposed to be being loud, he's not gonna be loud. So I'm like, girl, I don't even want to talk no more. I don't want to talk no more. Just go. I'm telling her, like, girl, just go. Like, I don't care. So, like, I just kept repeating myself because at this point, y'all, I stopped caring because it was so draining dealing with this girl. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we have a heart-to-heart because her brother, I'm like, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to talk. And I'm like, okay. So I'll be quiet, listen to her. I'm like, okay, we come to a compromise. After that, I didn't even know that this was her friend. But, like, she was telling me how I was working at Macy's, and this boy, he kept on staring at me when I was working there. I worked in, I forgot what I worked in. Like, it was not, I don't forget, but I forgot the name. I used to, like, be on, like, this little computer, and I would be looking for clothes that people want online, and I go pick up the clothes for them, and I pack it in. I forgot what it's called. Fulfillment, something like that. So he started working there, and I'm like, girl, this boy keeps staring at me with a wood. She like, oh girl, I think that's my friend because he's telling me it's this cute girl with this red hair who he work with now. He think he's scared to talk to her. So y'all, mind y'all, I got the red hair and this new boy show us. So I'm like, oh, I was talking about this boy. This is really the reason why I allowed for this to happen, is because I had knew of the boy. And prior to me meeting my boyfriend, I had already met this boy. Let me get my name. Keep saying this boy. Johnny. So I had already knew Johnny prior to meeting my boyfriend. Like, I really met Johnny before I met my boyfriend. So I'm like, okay, girl, like, okay, I didn't even say what happened. Okay, so a couple of weeks later, Snake comes to me and she asks me, she's like, Johnny need a place to stay. Like, his parents, he can't save no money somewhere. She said something like that. He has some money somewhere, so he's moving back from Florida to something that she had said, y'all. So me, I am a sucker for sad stories. I don't know why, but I am. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, he can come down here and he can stay. Because she was saying, y'all, she was telling me that Johnny was going to come down here and pay half the rent. I'm like, bet if Johnny come down here and pay half the rent, that means only me and you I have to split that little half. And I love the idea of that. So I'm like, bet, like, you can tell Johnny to come down. Like, she said that Johnny had food stamps. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's lit, bet, tell him to come down. So Johnny get here, everything cool. My boyfriend knew Johnny too. So like, everything seemed like everything. Like, but only thing was, we only had a 2-bedroom. So of course my son stayed in the room with me. And she had her own room, of course. And Johnny had to stay in her room because where was he going to sleep? In the living room? We didn't have no furniture down there yet. We didn't have no furniture in there yet. So what was he gonna put his blow mattress down there? When he actually ended up putting his blow mattress down. I think for a while, like, he slept in her room. But she was saying like, okay, I'm telling Johnny, like, he gotta go sleep downstairs in the living room. I'm like, so you just gonna make that boy put his bed down there? Mind y'all, this girl was feeding this man Johnny, hold on, ooh, so many lies. Like, Johnny was thinking that he was gonna come live with Snake and they was gonna be, you know, bestie westies. They was gonna be up in there, you know, cuddling and some more stuff. I think that she had Johnny thinking they was gonna be together. So I feel like that was pretty messed up. Because y'all, why, in the midst of Johnny living there, Snake had this other friend named KJ. And KJ had ended up, like, I think KJ liked Snake a lot. Like, he actually did like Snake a lot. He showed he liked Snake. He would pull up and always smoke with Snake, smoke her out. Like, he was buying Snake warming gifts. Like, he bought this girl a blender because she wanted a blender. And he seen that she liked making cookies, and we was always making cookies every time he came. He bought Snake a cookie pan. And y'all, can y'all believe that she had KJ pull up while Johnny was there? And KJ and Johnny look confused. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I don't know which one had ended up talking to my boyfriend, but they was telling him about the situation. He like, damn. Because y'all, she had, oh my God. Y'all, she had another boy. That's so crazy, y'all. I just damn near told the almost ending to this story. And why the hell was the camera off? I'm so irritated. Okay. So she had another dude that she used to have come to the house that she would have, you know, relations with. And that was my boyfriend, one of my boyfriend's friends. And y'all, like, she literally did that twice, where she had the boys pull up twice. Like, I think my boyfriend was outside talking to what's his name? What I name him? KJ. Like, she had KJ outside, and my boyfriend was talking to KJ, or he was talking to one of these people. Like, literally, like 3-4 dudes she was talking to, and I think she ended up having like 2 at the house. Really, probably 3 girls. I can't. Like, she had one of the boys living with us that she was talking to, and then she had one of the boys come and she kicked the boy out the room. That's why he started staying down in the living room. Like, it was just too much. And Like, the house just started getting messy. Rent is due. Rent due. Baby shark due. So yeah, rent was due. And it was time for me to start making my rounds. Like, hey y'all, what y'all got? It's that time. I like to pay on the first, so what's up? So she had hit me up, and I hit her up. I said to her, and I'm like, hey girl, it's about to be the first. You have your half of the rent, or your part. Do you and Johnny have y'all half of the rent? And she like, duh. Okay, y'all. Rent was $1,100 some dollars. I don't know, something like that. So she had she was like, I only have two something. Let me see how much Johnny have. What? How do you only have two something? If Johnny wasn't here, how the hell were you going to pay your rent with only two something? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna patiently wait until she tell me. Like, I'm gonna patiently wait for her to tell me what Johnny has. Maybe he got more money than her, hopefully. So she texted me back and she was like, oh, Johnny said he doesn't have it. He won't have it until this weekend or next Friday or something. Like, get him till next Friday. So I'm like, oh, y'all got me so effed up. Y'all got me so messed up. Like, literally, y'all do. So y'all expect me to pay restaurant by myself. I mean, of course my boyfriend was gonna help me, but like, what's the point of having roommates if y'all are in here, you know, doing nothing? So yeah, they said they didn't have the rent, so I'm irritated. So I instantly started just giving her straight attitude, cause I'm like, girl, y'all only seen like, this girl would DoorDash food every single day. Like, literally, that's where her money was going. I don't care, cause like me and her was arguing on Twitter, y'all, and I told her, like, girl, you was buying food every day. How you, cause you didn't pay rent? And she was like, why you counting my pockets? Like, bitch, if you only got $200 and you going to work every goddamn day, but you buying food every day, like out to eat food, make it make sense. It cost $1,800 to get in there. So I didn't $1,800, it was more than that, because I had paid so really $2,000. Okay, so it had cost $2,000 to get up in there, and she didn't help me with anything. Nothing. No application fee, no admin fee. I even asked her if she had $25 for something. She didn't have that. I was like, okay, now this girl really playing in my damn face, because I just been dishing out money. I'm buying little things to go around the house, and she wasn't doing anything. Only thing this girl did was buy like some little stuff from Family Dollar, which I was very appreciative of that too. She bought like trash can Family Dollar, I think, something like that, like dishwasher shit. That's the only thing that she did. So I'm like, you not gonna sit here and play in my face, and you and Johnny not gonna sit here and play in my face. So I'm like, I want y'all out. So I tell my mom, I'm like, mommy, this girl sitting up here telling me, like, basically like she don't got no money, you haven't paid her rent, and all these other damn utilities in here, and I don't help her get in here. Like, I'm not seeing no, like, I'm not seeing the reason why you're here. Like, you my best friend, but for one, it's always a problem every day, and you can't even pay rent, but you sitting here, you're buying, you know, that stuff, and you're buying food every day. How are you gonna pay your rent if you're always buying that? So it's my mom ended up coming over. She go upstairs because y'all, I'm young as hell. I didn't know how to tell her to get out my house. I was kind of like, damn, at the end of this with my friend, so I really didn't want to do it. So I got my mom to do it. So my mom went upstairs and she like, baby, like, it's not working out. You know, you should just give me the keys and see if someone can come pick you and your things up, because it's not working out. So she ended up giving my mom the key, and I think she called somebody, and they ended up coming to get the stuff. get her stuff and stuff. And we quiet because around this time it was Christmas time. So y'all, I'm building a gingerbread house with my with my baby and my boyfriend, and they end up coming get the stuff. Y'all tell me why this girl has to deposit pants her mama had bought, which I really don't care, but it was like, it was funny because for one, this girl don't cook. Well, at least she didn't cook then. She don't cook. So what are you doing depositing pants? Your mom didn't want them. So taking them for what? That was weird. So I'm like, okay. So I text and I was like, no, I put on Twitter, I was like, laugh my ass off. Not you taking pots and pans. I was like, that could be bought tomorrow. Just being petty. So y'all, why this girl post on Twitter something about my boyfriend diabetes? Because he got diabetes, and I don't play about my man. And what you not gonna do? I said something about pots and pans, and you always trying to bring my boyfriend. Like, it was so weird, y'all. Like, it was so weird. This girl had some type of vendetta against my man, because it was always something when it came to him. Always. Like, y'all think this girl is low-key jealous. Because we're going to get to why I think this girl was jealous of me. Look, we going to get to it. So, y'all, me and her going back and forth on Twitter. I'm like, oh, you're not going to talk about my nigga. How about wood. So, we're going back and forth. And, I think this girl had ended up telling my son daddy where I stayed at. Mind y'all, we was beefing hard, like beefing real bad. So I'm like, okay, bet. Like, this is trifling. I'm gonna whoop your ass. So y'all, I'm telling her, like, you know what? Pull up. I wanna fight you, pull up. She like, the same excuse that all the girls give. Oh, I'm not gonna fight you, or you know, I say like, no, you know where I stay. You used to come here all the time to smoke. You stay here. You could get here, you was in here all the time. You want to smoke before you even stayed in here. So, you know, pull up. So, we didn't end up fighting, of course, because these hoes be scary. I had ended up just blocking her, like, because I feel like we was arguing for like 3 days straight about the same shit. Like, girl, you're broke and you're mad because you're broke. She was a broke junkie. Like, what did junkies do? They freaking smoking stuff all day long. Like, she was for sure being a junkie. Like, it's like you work, like, you know, junkies, they be saying they working stuff, or they working and stuff, and then they don't have nothing to show for it. It's like, where is the coins that you've been working for? Mind y'all, this girl worked at Marshall's warehouse. So I know for a fact, like, she was getting paid good there, and this was around the pandemic. Like, she was getting paid good. So I'm like, something not adding up. Like, she just didn't care to pay rent, and I don't know how she thought she was gonna be staying with me for the free. Not. So yeah, yeah, that's basically the story of. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Somebody, like, as soon as she had moved out, it's right crazy to me how somebody had called defects on me and was saying stuff like, oh, I have drugs all in the home. It's like basically like a drug house, and I be hitting my kids and stuff like that. Mind y'all, or my kid, I didn't even pop my son for real. Be fucking for real. And that, my house was a safe spot, okay? Like, safe. Like, I don't know, like, I couldn't tell y'all if it was her or him. Like, my baby daddy or her. Yeah, it was just so freaking weird. So anyway, the freaking defects came and said everything was good. I'm talking about son got, oh, they say he didn't have his own room. And which he didn't. First of all, bitch, if he didn't have his own room to begin with, he in a safe place in his own room, which is his room. But anyway, so yeah, he ended up having his own room. Y'all, like, for Christmas, I had ended up giving him a whole Paw Patrol room, like, burning toys everywhere. I finally gave him a room, because the only reason why he didn't have a room was because I had moved this girl in. And they came and seen that my son had his own room, pantry full of food, fridge full, fridge and freezer full of food, clean environment, very much so clean, no drugs in the house. Like, so yeah, case closed. And yeah, so yeah, basically that was the story time of the time. Well, that was the story time that I had a roommate from hell. Rates 0 out of 10 don't recommend. Like, y'all people need to learn how to listen. Don't have a roommate. Like, it's gonna be your worst decision ever. And people always just tell me, like, don't have a roommate. Every time I have a roommate, something bad happen, and y'all gonna fall out. So anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this story time, and I got more to come. So y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And if y'all have any type of suggestions on a little intro or where I can call y'all just let me know, because I'm thinking about it too. And yeah, bye.